I think you just need to stay strong. I'm trying, like, you know who's a good example? Doreen from LA. You know who that is? So she started out like I want to say a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago or so. She's this cute girl from LA, and she had like I remember I started following her like 1,700 followers or like 2,000 or something, and I was like, oh, this girl's so cute. And I think that people now, she does things to her own beat. She doesn't pay attention to, you can tell. I mean, like, this is at least what I think. I don't know if it's 100% true, but it doesn't seem like she pays attention to what other influencers are doing. It seems like she just does things on her own. She doesn't care. She does giveaways, to gain some followers and like, but that's not bad because she's gaining a Jewish audience. So if she does, hey, Doreen, if she gains like, I think, right? And tell me if I'm wrong, but she's just like true to who she is. And she has built up, I would say, a page. Okay, we're
Sorry.
back.
Okay. I think that was the 1 hour cutoff.
Yeah, it was. I didn't realize. Okay. So, anyways, should we wait for people to come back on before we continue so people don't ask like where we left off? Let's see
They
how
could
that's
watch the
fine.
replay.
Oh, right, that's true. I forgot. Okay. So, anyways, yeah. So basically, she built up her page and like, she has 11,000 followers. Is that 50,000? No, but she's just staying strong to who she is and what her own style is. And to me, it just shows like she doesn't care about. She never looked afraid of starting out and being, you know, small or not being able to get somewhere. And I think that's just how you have to be. You have to just not be worried about, am I not going to have like 20, like there are girls who have been stuck, I see at like 25 or, 1,000 followers, which is fine. Like at a point, I guess people kind of get like, they get to a place where they don't, they're not growing as much. But I think that if you just keep pushing and trying and doing new things, your following will grow and grow. I do think it's harder once you get to a certain place. Like for me, I've been like stuck at 80 to 83 and like, I don't know what I mean. I don't even know what my number is now, 82.5. I don't even know. And I think it's 82.5. And I'll see myself go up and down and yo-yo in followers, and I'm like, I'm gaining so many followers, but then why am I losing followers? And I'm like, if I'm losing, there are probably people who just don't care to follow an influencer. It's fine, I don't care. Or people who maybe I did a giveaway and they're losing from a giveaway, and it's again like fine. But I've noticed that growing in big numbers is so hard these days when unless you're like really on top of your content and everything. And for me, at least, it's hard these days to be super on top of certain things. I'm not content where I am, but I know I have my niche, I have my following. I'm not trying to be they're non or I don't want to say non-Jewish, but there are girl like, influencers in the regular world who have like 300,000 followers because all they did was giveaways. And, companies will be like, oh, I worked with them and they were horrible. But they're charging companies so much money because they give content, and like these companies just basically view them as just like content creators, I think, or, just even advertising. But I don't think they're even able to give nearly what girls who have like niches, who have a niche following, are able to give. And even, when companies ask me like what other pockets of people are good to work with, and I tell them, I'm like, there's not just Jews, there's other, types of religions that have really strong followings. They have awesome influencers and I follow them and they're really cool to follow. And I think it's about like also finding, if you want to expand, maybe like finding other um, communities that can relate to yours, whether it be like the modest community, a Mormon community, a different type of, I don't know, Christian community that's modest. So I think people just shouldn't be scared of, I only have 1,000 followers. Like, should I even do this? Is it worth it? But also, it's important to stay true to who you are. You don't want to, I mean, and also not just see influencers doing things. And like I said last night, it's like lately people will message me and they're like, this person keeps copying you. And I'm like, what? I don't even notice it. But then people keep telling me. And then like it gets to a point where it starts to get creepy. And you're like, okay, this is getting a little much.
Like how they copying you. Dressing
I don't
and
want to
athleisure
say it
anymore.
because it's so many things to the point where I'm like, this is getting really creepy. And people have told them to stop, but they don't really care, it seems like. And to me, I'm just like, I don't mind it because one, it's flattery, I guess. Like, people are like, she just wants to be you. And I'm like, okay. Um, and they, their followers see it though. So I'm like, it doesn't really matter that you're doing it. It's just that it's a turn off to your followers. Your followers are talking about it. They're messaging other people. And like, I also feel like it's just a bad way to start yenting. Like, we don't want people talking about like, oh, this person, blah, blah, blah. Like, again, just stay true to who you are, march to your own beat. And that way there's less Lashon and people are just can stick to their own.
Totally. I love that. So let's close up with this. What are you working on next? And as you mentioned before, you're not truly content where you are in a good way, in an ambitious way. Can you tell us is Instagram it for you, or are you working on new things? And
It's funny, I keep saying that, like, I'll jokingly be like, oh, when I retire. Well, I first want to write a book, I've decided, which I need to start doing. Um, I I want to write a book in a safe way where I'm able to share my experiences being an influencer and seeing. I don't want to do it in a way where it seems like I'm being, nasty because I have no intentions of being like that, or where people think I'm like trying to insinuate certain things about others or whatever. I want it to be a way for people to understand that it's almost an unnecessary um like competitive world for no reason, I feel like. And the craziest stories that go on that you're just like, people can't even like, when I tell people stories that go on and I'm like, I can't believe this person did this to me, and they're like, what?
can you
I'm
give
just,
us an example?
no, I can't.
Only the book will
It's
have
just,
them.
it's just like things that, you feel like you would think that other people or influencers are just going about their business like like most of us, and just doing their thing. But in actuality, there's things going on behind the scene, and it's just mind-boggling that people really just want to do evil to others. Not evil, but like just bad. Like, it's scary. And I'm like, how do people live their life focusing on hurting others? It's just crazy to me. So whatever. But that my book would be more like I don't really know what it would be about yet, but I'm not a good writer, I'll say that, but I definitely want to write a book, but I would only publish it if it was actually well written, which could take 10 years. So we'll see. But aside from that, um, I am working on just doing things off of Instagram while still being on Instagram, because I like Instagram. I like being on it, but I want to just expand and just do new things. And I'm still working on what, and when I have the time to really sit down and like, which I've done a few times already, but it takes so much effort to do anything, especially nowadays. Like, anyone who's working from home, it's very hard. So I'm hoping and praying that I can actually just like sit down after I finish filing my taxes tonight, which is another thing. My husband's like, you better send me your stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. But yeah, so it's like running a business. You have all these things you need to take care of, and yeah, it's just a lot.
Absolutely. It sounds it sounds like an exciting future. It sounds like you do have some exciting things you're working on. So I'm looking
I hope.
forward to. Well, I'd love to talk to you about it after privately if you'd
Yeah,
like,
we'll
or some
talk.
other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just for anyone listening out here, I'm going to convert this and it's going to be posted onto my podcast, The Francisca Show, where we have conversations, and I'm so, so honored we had this conversation, but conversations with artists, entrepreneurs, creatives in the Jewish world, specifically women, even though we have been expanding.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for honoring us with your presence and sharing so
Thank
many
you.
interesting tips. And there's just so much to learn from you. And I'm just so happy your listeners and my listeners get to see that, you're such a public person in so many ways, to see that business side of you, that, you know, all the other stuff that people don't get to see, the thought process, the struggles, the competition, or the bad mouthing that's happening and that you have to deal with, and how all this impacts your family life, because this is so intertwined. So I'm so happy we're able to reveal the behind the scenes of Eliana's life, of your life. So
Okay, thanks for having me. It was so fun.
thank you. Have a good night. Thanks,
You too.
everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the end. I hope you enjoyed and found this conversation to be super valuable. I know I did, and I'm so grateful to have had it. If you don't follow Asia Style yet, please do check her out on Instagram and follow her. So if the focus before has been sharing the stories and giving women a platform to share, now I'm focusing more on how the information, how their experiences can be educational for everyone else. So here's a perfect example of someone who is who has created something that did not exist and who is earning a nice income from it and who's not embarrassed of it. And this is just what I love. I love this so much. And if you love this too, let me know, because I'm really tired of the whole starving artist thing. I'm tired of the whole you need your husband who can support your lifestyle so you can create your passion project. So if you're tired of this too, let me know. Let's talk. Let's turn your art into a business. And I'm not saying I'll turn you into an Asia Style. Well, if that's something you want to do, we could definitely work toward that, and that can be your goal. But I do want to hear your goals, and I would love to show you how you can really achieve them. It is possible. Yes, you are a woman. Yes, you are from. Yes, you are an artist and a creative spirit. And yes, you can earn money from this. And I'm sorry if I'm a broken record, and I'm not sorry for being a broken record. I think what I'm doing is really important, and I hope you are with me on this. And I hope you join us next time. Have a great, great week.